The world is changing fast. AI is taking jobs, inflation is eating away savings, and the safety nets people rely on, they're fraying. If you don't have a digital income yet, you might already be behind. But here's the good news, you're not too late yet.
See, see the worker there? Look at this.
Let's be real. Let's take off the blinders. Let's take off our bias. Let's take off our predisposed viewpoints. And let's look at what's really going on. What's really going on is that at least 20% of the workforce can be automated right now. As corporations are being sold these AI packages that are having full on teams come in and set them up, it sets the tone for the medium size and the small business. Therefore, in order to keep up with competition, you're going to be forced to adopt AI. And what does that mean for your job? Have you retooled yourself? Do you have other plans? Do you have other skills that you can monetize when your job gets taken away by AI? Another harsh reality is that the 9 to 5 has gone away since the pandemic. Since the pandemic, the average person's been working from home. At least 30% of the workforce right now has the ability to work from home and never have to return to the office. What does that do to cities? What does that do to small businesses? And, what does that do to the overall landscape of the economy? The economy, just with AI and the work from home mentality that came post pandemic, we are seeing such an economic shift that has never been seen before. Not this fast, not this abrupt, not this disruptive. If you think this is all just fear mongering, take a step back. Look at history. Every major economic shift leaves people behind, the ones who don't adapt. So let's talk about how you can build income streams online before it's too late. We're in a very small window of opportunity right now because right now AI is at its infancy. If you adopt it now, not only do you get to use it and become proficient, which now puts you ahead of the curve, but it also allows you to adapt it and to accelerate at it. Essentially, it's the gold rush. It's as soon as somebody finds gold, some people start going there, and as more and more people talk about how much gold is in this little cavern, well, then everybody wants to come and go to that cavern. Most people will wait until it's tried and tested. If you get in early, you have an opportunity to be able to maybe even be the next generation of wealth for your family. Because every time there's an economic shift, there is a shift in who is wealthy and who is not. Most of the old money goes away because they refuse to transition. They refuse to adapt to the new ways, the new economy, the new ways of doing business. And so, therefore, you get this whole new breed of new money. Now, there is some old money that just can never be taken away. But for the most part, 80 to 90, maybe even 95% of the wealth class that we have right now, once this transition happens, those that didn't adapt will be left behind, and those of us that did will take their place. Your biggest mistake is going to be waiting to until it's tried, tested, and proven, and it's almost a sure thing to where you're forced. And then that is when you're going to be behind the eight ball. It's much better to get in ahead of the curve and be in the headwind than to be in the tailwind because there's a lot that gets left behind in the tailwind. That's what most people don't talk about. Now let's get tactical. Here are 3 of the fastest ways to start making money online today, even if you have zero experience and no money to invest. The first one is AI powered freelancing. Now, I'm dabbling into that because I'm still a beginner at AI. I'm trying to get in, maybe not at the beginning of the curve, but in the beginning enough to where I can ride that headwind. But I'm using AI to be able to create gigs on Fiverr and Upwork for things that I want to do. And it does take some tweaking and some things like that. But if you have a talent, a skill, or something else like that, something that AI would be really good for is optimizing your content so that it could actually be out there. Also, there's a lot of other things, like you can have legal documents drafted by AI. You can have blogs drafted by AI, news articles, any copy, anything else like that. Even though you may not have the skill set, as long as you have a basic understanding and you go off and you continuously self-educate, AI will be able to temporarily be your crutch doing that. And so that's what the power of having AI is, especially in the new online digital economy that is forming and growing at an exponential rate. The second is content creation with a purpose. See, the days of being an influencer are over. Being able to be an activist, to move the needle, to be able to make change, and things like that. Um, what uh, what social media is being used for now today is for businesses to be able to market and to advertise. Now, this is an age old thing that's just being adapted as far as sales and marketing. But what is it that you do to be able to bring in new customers if you're a business? You find a problem that they have, you give them some basic solutions. And then from that basic solution, if they want to know more, if they want more from you, like, hey, I see you did a really good job, deep cleaning those freezers. I want you to come in and do that for me. So it becomes a form of advertising while also building a community, because what you're trying to do is get reach. The more reach that you have based upon the content that you put out, the more advertising that your business gets, the more opportunities for leads and customers you get. Now, the third one is crypto and decentralization finance. This is something that I have not really learned a lot about, but I know a lot of these young techies, these young kids. If you're under 30, under 35, you probably know more about this than anybody older than you, because it's native to you. You grew up with it. I didn't grow up with it. I grew up with the dollar. However, there are different ways to be able to make money. And I would suggest, if this is something that you want to get into, as far as using crypto, there are channels out there that will help you do that. As far as I go, I'm over 40, and that is something that is going to be a learning curve, but I can only learn so many things at a time. What you want to do is you want to pick one of these three, figure out what is easiest for you to do, that is going to require minimal effort, and then use artificial intelligence as a way to be able to assist you in the areas that you're weak at. Just like a mechanic, he knows how to fix a car. He doesn't know how to do search engine optimization. And if you're just starting out, the barrier to entry is zero, because now you have AI to do things that marketing agencies have been doing for generations. This isn't about making extra cash. This is about survival. Digital homesteading isn't a trend, it's a lifeline. And if you're serious about being independent, about not relying on a broken system, then start today. You have two choices: wait until the system forces you to adapt, or take control now. I'll be breaking this down in future videos. This is part of a 20 video series that I am working on to prepare you for homelessness should you get caught in the tailwind. So make sure you're subscribed, drop a comment below. What's your game plan for the next 5 years? And let's build something unstoppable together. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.